So I'm trying to.
I just posted a video a couple hours ago. So here's one. I don't know how often you heard this, but as a kid, it was constantly preached to my generation, and I think I preached it to my kids. You can be anything you want to be if you just put your mind to it.
Yes, okay. This is gonna turn into a. I need to tell you about yes.
What
Go
I'm
on.
what I'm saying is a more honest thing is there's so much you can do, but you're for sure limited by your physical abilities, your intelligence, your passion, your dedication, what you're willing to give up to get the thing.
Marty Supreme.
So there's just so much involved in that. It's just such a bigger conversation than just saying to a kid and just preaching to him. Dude, you could you could play in the NBA. You can be an NFL
You can
star.
if you want it. If you don't make it, you didn't want it enough.
Well, no, but see, what I'm saying is me personally,
Yeah.
no way I was making the NFL. No way I was making the NBA.
You didn't want it enough.
My physical abilities alone limited me.
You could have lost weight. You could have got jacked. You could have
Doesn't matter.
You could have got money to hire a trainer to get you there.
Not everybody can do anything.
I think anyone can do anything. Me and Justice just talked about this.
False.
I just got in an argument with Malachi about this. He was saying that I can't learn to be a great singer in a year. I said, yes, I can. I just need 1 year. He was like, nope. Your abilities said exactly what you said. Stupid ass thing. Your abilities genuinely, everyone's built different. Because I was saying I could sing like Ariana Grande in a year if I tried. He was like, no, you can't. The only thing I gave him is I did what you said, where I have to not just stand on what I believe. I have to be open to learning and taking L's and being like, fine, you got me there. Where he got me is I might need 2 years.
You might just need a little longer.
Just 2 years, and I'm set. I can literally be the next Adele.
Well, no, that's not. No, that's false. Okay, so you just broke our mic. Does no longer work. But
You don't think if I fucking put my mind to it, just like Marty Supreme preaches, that's why I love that movie. And their argument was, do it then. I don't want that. I don't want to be the greatest singer in a year. What I do want, and when I want it, I will tell them and give me a year.
Okay, so I guess this is why
you can do anything, Noni.
This is why I'm opening up the conversation. So what I'm saying is, I think it's a good mantra.
Are you
right?
trying to set your kids up for realism? That's disgusting.
I think it's a good mantra to be like, you can do anything you want if you set your mind to it. I think it's a good thing to pursue. However, we are all limited, right? So I'll give you a perfect example.
I'm ready.
I coached Little League for many years, and
Aww.
I saw these kids at a young age. Now, I'm not saying that these kids were like, I could just look at a kid and go, oh, well, you're not making the MLB. However,
that's funny.
There was definitely like a bunch of different metrics that you can use to go. It's if you had a perfect storm, right? If you had the perfect storm, which you would need dedicated parents, you would need financial backing, you would need discipline and love for the fucking thing yourself. You would need there's so much things, but you would also need natural talent. You would also need the dedication to the thing.
Hard work beats talent.
So what I'm saying is like,
sorry.
If you took like the most crazy example, right? You go like the number one quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You go, okay, the number one quarterback in the NFL. This guy didn't just go, yeah, you know what? I think I want to be an NFL quarterback. No, he was born and bred that way. He was raised in this way. And there might be guys that started late and still did pretty good, but the dedication and all the things that need to happen for that one guy to make it as far as he does don't exist in everybody's life. So a guy could have all the natural talent, but be born into a family that focuses more on something else, and then doesn't do it, doesn't support him, doesn't take him to the things. So then he wastes a whole length of time, doesn't train and doesn't do anything. Maybe the thing he's really good at, he doesn't give a fuck about, and he's like, I don't even care to do that. So then there's a waste of it, right? if somebody really loves the guitar and wants to play the guitar, and he goes to play the guitar, and then he plays something good, and it inspires him to want to do more, and then he keeps it, and then he loves it, and he keeps going.
Yeah.
But then there's other guy that's just like picks up a guitar and could just play a riff, but it means nothing to him. He's not going to go on to do that thing.
Yeah.
So, but there's just
I love these topics.
there's so many caveats to the one thing that
One's a party trick.
that's why they call it a perfect storm. A perfect storm is because there's so many things that have to align for that person to be successful.
I do think it's some of it's luck.
But what I'm talking about is not success in a general form. I'm talking about at the highest levels, right? So it's like Ariana Grande or whoever the singer you're talking about, but that's kind of a different thing, right? That's more because you could be like not a great singer, but fucking perform in a way that meets the
bad singers
the
actually
artistic
in right now.
desires of other people, and so you form like a following, an audience, and those people love it, and so but even then. You have to, I refer back to so many different fucking things in my life, but one thing is I always wanted to be a singer in a punk rock band, but I could never get all the things lined up. I couldn't get, like, to get bandmates. People, not only did you have to find somebody who was good at drums, good enough.
The drummer's always hard to
find.
But
But then you had to get him to show up at the times it was time to rehearse.
It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
You had to get along with that person. You had to you had to find a bass player and so like all these different things that all shared. You guys all had to have like common likes, and you all had to have the same. I refer to Shia LaBeouf. I've watched a couple interviews where he talks about he has a dream. He sees this dream and he's following, and he has a hard time working with people that he's like, he talks about working with Martin Scorsese, and he's like, yeah, he had a dream, but I just couldn't see that dream. So the work that came from it kind of fell flat because I was trying to find that person's dream in this thing that was a collaborative effort, so it's like, but he went on and did his own thing, but like he's not super passionate about the little thing or the other things that end up being a big thing. But so it's like, you want to be the greatest actor, but can you get the gig that allows you to present your art form in a way that's going to be received by people?
I see what you're saying. You're kind of like, because we are living in a generation where maybe too many of us are like, you can make it. And then these kids are left disappointed when they have to work a desk job. So am I right? Are you sort of saying, let's set the expectations a little different?
Curb your enthusiasm. Like,
but that also feels like loser propaganda.
It is. But yeah, so it's like, so I love it.
Okay to suck.
I love it when I feel like as I'm talking, I'm being hypocritical, I'm being contradictory, but these are just all my genuine thoughts that I'm having simultaneously. It's like I want to tell my kids, you could do anything. I truly believe they can.
Aww.
But I also want to tell them, okay.
I don't want your heart crushed.
I don't want you to be like
it's a hard world.
Okay, so one thing that I would say, like,
I get you.
I have a kid that I think when I hear her sing, it brings tears to my eyes. She is so talented.
Allie.
Okay, well, I wasn't gonna out her, but
yeah, she's a good singer.
I listen to her sing, and it is, and then I go, oh, am I just dad? Am I just like loving on my daughter?
No, Nana and Tata think so too.
But when I hear her sing, it literally gives me goosebumps. It puts a pit in my stomach. Like I get emotional, and I'm like, you have the first element of however many elements need to take place for you to be a successful singer.
Yeah, talent.
You have the thing, but now you need the backing, the dedication, the commitment, the training, the passion and the want and the will to do the thing. And I think I think Allie could be the next Adele. I think that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
I think so too. She just has to want it.
But she doesn't just have to want it. She has to have a support group. She has to have.
Do you think they have to want it and have money?
Well, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, you know?
Especially with someone, I believe in this, but someone that's struggling as we speak with exactly what you just said is like, why is my shit not getting looked at? I swear I got the vibe, I got the sound, I got the look, I got the skills, but I'm just not getting found yet. Because, yeah, you do have to be at the right place, right time. Where someone's like, catches that.
Right place, right time. But also it's like, you know, so...
But there's also things you could do if you really want it that are the extra mile that a lot of people aren't willing to take.
So like in my little post that I put out today, I was like, you know, the thing that you can do is you could be well, I didn't word it this way, but you could be super passionate about these things that you love, and then you could just do it. Like if you just love, so for me, I love comedy. I love telling jokes. I love making people laugh. I don't think I would ever be at the upper.
This is what you told me before.
I don't think I would ever be at the upper echelon of getting paid millions of dollars to play arenas and do. I don't think that the cards just don't line up for me. But I can watch comedy. I could critique comedy. I can make podcasts where we talk about comedy. I could go to open mics and do that. But let's just say, okay, so I think this probably is a perfect example. If I wanted to be a super famous comedian where I just made a bunch of money, you know, worked my way up into the status of comedians, I wouldn't say that's impossible, but I would say that what it would take to get there, I don't have in me. So it's not about, am I a comedian? Am I good? Am I funny?
Some people don't have it in them is what I'm telling you.
It's about, like, we've talked about, like, oh, let's go to open mics and I'll go up. I do want to do that, and I will for sure do that one day.
Fuck
I
yeah.
don't know that, because then I watch videos of other aspiring comedians, and they talk about it, even famous comedians, and they talk about, you have to go, like, you have to put in the work, right? So you have to go. I would have to be doing open mics. There's some guys that talk about doing like 5 open mics a night, 5 days a week. Just getting a minute here, a minute there, 3 minutes there, 4 minutes there, ending up to where someone gives you a 20-minute set, ending up where you open up for a comedian.
I saw that. There's dudes on the lineup that are just all day.
They're just going up,
and
and when they're doing that, they're getting better.
Yeah.
They're learning how to deal with the audience. They're learning what gets a laugh, what doesn't get to laugh, what jokes work, what jokes don't work. How to deal with hecklers. They're learning the craft, and they're becoming better and better and better. And they already have a natural ability to be funny and to have fun. And they're digging on getting people to laugh. And they have the time and they have the support. They don't have to worry about a day job or kids that they have to take care of or anything else in life. They just focus on that.
Yeah, that definitely makes it easier.
And then you know how many of those people that do that? Sorry, they have the talent, they have the work ethic,
got a different struggle.
they have the commitment, they do all that, and they still don't make it. There's more of those than there are of the ones that make it.
You want those people to fail.
So what I'm saying is
we need a movie about that where he fails.
What I'm saying is that even if there was something that I wanted, it's not essentially it's not the only thing to say. If you put your mind to it, anything's possible.
I'm gonna make a movie about this.
Not true. It's not true.
Okay.
It's not. Don't tell your kid that his growth is stunted and he ends up being 5'1" at 19 years old. He's overweight. He doesn't give a fuck about much things, but he loves basketball. And you're like, you're gonna play in the NBA. And he failed out of high school, and he never played team sports, and he's a dick, so he doesn't get along with people. And so there's just like, you know what I mean? There's like all these, and you're just like, no. If you put your mind to it, you could do anything. That's not so. But you can do a lot, and that should be enough. Find the thing you're passionate about, and do as much of it as makes your heart content, and be okay with that. And if it leads to something great, great. If it doesn't, the greatness is in your ability to enjoy the thing you're doing at the level you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. But I've heard you tell me and Juddy that before. But I was about to say something this is going to be performative of me, but everything you just said I love, but I want to save my comments for when I'm famous. For how I wanted to reply to you right now.
So we'll clip what I just said.
Yes. when I'm famous,
and then
I
you're
have
famous, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you say something.
Yes, I have something because
Don't say it
you're
now.
just making me emotional. Oh my
Well,
God.
say it now.
I just can't wait to get. I know I'm gonna get there. No, that's fine.
Well, here's the even better question. What's fame to you? What does it mean to be famous? What do you think you're going to get out of it personally, emotionally, mentally?
People to finally resonate with me and understand me, and I want to inspire kids.
How many people?
Like me? All of them. Every single kid just like me. All the ones that are just like me.
But if
I want to impact them and make them feel like they can do it too. If I could make it, I want them to make it.
What's making it though?
Whatever their dream is, painter, art. Making it fame-wise is obviously shitty, but it's, doing what you love and having fans, doing what you love and getting attention for it, doing what you love and getting paid for it, which I don't give a fuck about the money. Everyone else does, though. The only way I'm going to be able to drop this fucking 9-to-5 job is if I get money doing what I love.
Right. So it's like, it's not about the money, but it is about the money.
It is.
Because
I hate it,
if you're getting paid to do the thing, so we talked about NoFX and their movie out, 40 Years of Fucking Up.
Yeah.
They talk about that, like starting off in like 1983, and they're like, oh, we'll never make money doing this. To evolve to a point where, all of a sudden now they're making enough money in record sales and doing shows where they're actually making a wage where they don't have to do day jobs, and they're like, holy shit, I feel
like that's what
we're not millionaires.
Yeah.
We don't have everything, but we're making enough money doing what we do.
Yep.
And the business aspect of this, we're doing what we love, we're making enough money, and then they end up making like more and more and more and more and more,
Yep.
and then it end up whatever. Like they're not like, I don't know, another Aerosmith or something that people that made millions. Michael Jackson, somebody that made millions of dollars. But they ended up doing what they love and made enough money to be successful in a sense of like they were able to raise a family and be like have enough money to like live and have enough money to reinvest in the thing they were doing and the thing they were passionate about.
Yeah.
So like this right here, we've invested, let's say approximately, I don't know, $2,500 all together, and everything that is here that is recording this podcast. That's a lot.
It's a lot to me.
So let's say $2,500 has done this. In order to make this better, if someone dropped 10 grand, was like invested in me and was like, here's 10 grand, I want you to invest this in the podcast. Guess what we're doing? New cameras, new audio setup, new fucking studio,
yeah, that's me
new
with all my
studio,
money.
new everything.
Music stuff.
Hire somebody to do the editing, so we don't have to wait on me to, have a production team, like all this stuff. So then our podcast, the content in itself is what it is, but we will be more successful because
that's the unfortunate truth.
How do you get people to watch your shit more? It's not just the content has to be there, and I think our conversations are good enough, but the quality, the visual quality of the cameras, the audio quality, everything that is elevated, we're gonna get more followers.
There are some podcasts I think that we are actually better than with my whole heart.
Yeah.
But they have better cameras, they have better HD. It's like movies. Some movies suck, but what do we say? The cinematography was really good, though.
The audio was good.
Yeah, the audio was good. It's because it looks fucking great. They're still going to be... Avatar. Did we watch it for the story? No, story's trash. But that CGI, which is money.
I thought the story was great.
Oh. You know what I'm getting at, though? At the end of the day, it is about the production and money, and that can help you go a long way. I think some people will blow up because they're rich.
Well, kind of on that same topic of you could do anything you want if you put your mind to it. So when I was in 3rd grade...
Thought I was gay. Where are your mic manners? Poor people.
Okay, so when I was in the 3rd grade, I was given the assignment to write a report, do a little fucking thing, and do a drawing and everything about what I wanted to be when I grow up. And I legit made a whole report saying that I wanted to be a bum when I grew up. Because
Someone just told me about this, dude.
Because the idea of being a bum to me was
the life.
Well, was because I didn't have to work, I didn't have to go to school, I didn't have to do anything anybody told me. But it obviously as a kid you're not thinking about all the other stuff. I just knew that bum meant no work. And I was like, cool, I want to be a bum. And then my mom, I'm doing the project like at home before I'm like going to bring it to school to present it. And my mom and my dad were like, okay, we want to encourage you to be who you are, but you could be a bum, but you have to be an educated bum. So as long as you put in there that you're an educated bum.
The world's first educated bum.
So you have to go to school, you have to finish high school, you have to go to college, and you have to get a degree. At that point, if you decide to be a bum, you'll at least be an educated bum and go ahead.
Nah, this is a setup. I want the full bum experience.
But so I did. I literally submitted the report, and I think that so like my whole life has been like to some extent performative. Like I am a comedian at heart. Like I love getting the laugh. Like we've talked about this before where like we'd be in a room full of like, 20, 30 people at a gathering.
And there's one dude, I'm performing for them all night.
If I get him to laugh, I don't give a fuck.
I just need one.
I don't give a fuck if everybody else is offended.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
we're not spoiled.
He's laughing.
We're not ungrateful.
But I think I was like that even as a kid. So like I did a report in the 3rd grade that showed I literally drew a picture of like a shitty stick figure picture of me laying in the street.
I've done so many projects like this too.
I was like,
you knew, but you're not dumb. I know you knew you were getting laughs and being performative. Like
I knew I was getting a laugh, but it was a genuine thought. I remember being a kid and having that genuine thought. It was like, I want to be a
teacher's like, this dude's retarded.
Yeah, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. This is bullshit. Like what I gotta clock in, clock out. I gotta do shit. Fuck that. What does a bum do?
I love
Nothing.
Kids that I know I'm not working. I'm not doing that. You were convinced you're just not doing that.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna do this. Like I'm not gonna work. I'm not gonna. I can't wait to get out of school and then not have to go to school.
You just didn't understand life.
I've always hated being told what to do. To this day, I hate being told what to do.
Me
And
too.
I have to actively.
Bums unite.
I have to actively work on myself in the moment that I feel like I'm being made to do something I didn't agree upon.
Me too.
Like if somebody's,
but that was like my dad too.
I'll give you a weird example where it's like, no, I don't want to say that on camera. I'll say something else. But any version of, let's say, I'm gonna make a fictitious one up, but you're gonna get you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like let's say like I was going to do the dishes. Like I walked in my house, I saw dishes, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wash those. And I walked up to go wash those, and my daughter walks in and goes, hey, can you do the dishes? At that point, I can no longer do the dishes.
This is so relatable.
Like I'm like my brain went into like I was originally in this active mode of like like I was excited. I'm gonna get this done. I want this done. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna feel fulfilled at the end of it. I don't mind doing it. I'm gonna put on some music. Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
The second I felt that somebody was telling me to do it,
not feeling it. Someone else take out the trash.
I'm like, I can't fucking do
My
this.
ex-girlfriend actually gave me great advice. She said, take out the trash, do your chores before your parents can tell you, because then you won't want to do it once they tell you. Get to it before they tell you, man. That's a great kid.
Well, yes, so you're 23.
Yep.
I'm 46. At 46, the thing that has changed is my ability to deal with the negative impact that it has on me.
Yeah. I think I'm getting there as well.
And follow through.
Yeah. Fuck stubbornness.
So I'll be.
It's just going to kill you.
I'll be in that mode. So same exact example. I want to do these dishes. And I go do it.
You're human.
And then my son or my daughter walks in and is like, hey, you should do the dishes. This is the worst. I hate this. And I'm talking to myself. It's like a dialogue. It's a monologue, because it's just in my own head. Yeah. But it's a dialogue where I'm literally talking to the me. It's Anthony talking to Anthony, but Anthony's going, even though you feel the way you feel.
This is good. This is called character development, by the way.
You're going to finish this task.
Yep.
It would have been better if you didn't feel this way.
Yeah. This doesn't rule.
But you're still going to finish it.
Yeah, I'm not in love with this
And you're going to hate it, but it's okay. Continue.
Yeah.
And do not let this affect a relationship.
You're like saying
So
this out loud in front of your daughter.
Do not, I'm saying it in my head, I'm saying do not let anybody in this room know that you're going through this right now.
Lock in,
do your thing, finish the task, and do not take it out on anybody. And even when you're done and you have this weird fucking psycho thing going on in your head, still turn around and tell your daughter you love her.
Yep.
And then go buy her lunch.
Dude, do you know how good you'd make others feel? Oh my God, this sounds like the perfect day. But instead we choose, let's throw a fit, let's be a brat, and then the day is worse. Oh, let's be stubborn. Or let's not take out the trash. Now it smells.
What I'm saying is, okay, so the other version of it is I would just give in to that inner demon, that inner fucking child, that inner
your programming,
irrational thing. If I just give into it, then I go, I'm walking towards the sink, and then someone says something,
and then I go, your body shuts down.
Nope, not doing this.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go in the garage and fucking play with the computer or go edit some podcasts.
360.
I'm not doing this, and fuck this, and I'm gonna come in here later and see this and be mad about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Who didn't take out the trash?
Why the fuck is this not done?
Yep. I want to make the situation as worse as possible now that you told me to do that.
So so that's the version that. Okay, so now it goes back to what we've talked about before, where to me, the selfish act
is unfortunately the most relatable thing you've ever said. I think to everyone, especially Talon. Talon is.
I don't know, maybe, but
this is very fucking good. Dude.
But I'm saying, so the selfish act is doing the thing that seems to be the more responsible, mature thing. That is the selfish act because you get done, nobody's affected negatively, but time passes and the thing you wanted done is done. It doesn't affect you negatively long term. So, like, what could have been a negative 10 hours ended up being a negative 10 minutes. Because you
This is great, dude.
Because you selfishly fucked with yourself and went, fuck you, stop it, little kid. Yeah. Do your fucking job.
This is called maturity. Genuine good advice. That's to everyone. Arguments. Just bad days at work. You're gonna let one little thing ruin your entire fucking day, dude. No. Don't do that. No. Fuck stubbornness. Stubbornness is a really hard one though. Like you said, it took you how many years? You're 46 and you're still okay. So give me some time.
So my point is that at 23, what's happening now in my brain at 46 is the same. The only difference is how I deal with it.
Okay, cool. So
that's
the
only difference.
When you're built a certain way, you don't just lose that. You just get used to it.
You're not gonna all of a sudden at 32 go, oh, I'm more mature now.
Damn, that's literally what I'm convinced.
And that doesn't bother me. It still bothers you till you're. I mean, I'm saying I'm 46. I can't imagine it not bothering me at 62. Yeah. Like, it's still gonna bother me. It's the way you deal with it. That, like, being able to see, okay, selfishly, I want to get to a better headspace quicker. How do I do that?
Yeah. I want to feel awesome more.
No, I don't want to. Don't let the people around you affect what's happening up here. Figure this shit out. Get through it. Get to the selfish point of, I'm so excited to get out of this headspace.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm going to do that. This is how I'm going to accomplish that.
I just reposted a sad TikTok. It was like, when you're a grown man, you don't have time to mourn and cry. So he just gets in his car and he goes, ah! Okay. And then drives. That's probably what's going to happen, right? I'm still going to feel the pain, but I don't have time to get pissed at this for more than 2 seconds.
I think more of what I'm saying is the older you get and the more experience you have, you're going to develop, if you're willing and you're trying.
You have to be willing.
You will develop the tools and the skills that it takes to understand that you can get to a better place selfishly quicker.
Wow.
Quicker.
Wow.
That's the goal.
This is actually gonna help me in my everyday life now.
I'm in a shitty headspace right now. How do I get out of this quicker?
Yeah.
It's not about serving that fucking inner child. It's not about placating that fucking brat inside of me that's fucking throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
It's about getting out of that. And how do I get out of that?
This is why I hate work. I hate that they're always constantly telling me, hey, Zion, can you... Oh, just because you said that, I don't want to freaking do it. But at the end of the day, We're getting paid.
You're getting paid. How much do you get paid?
$16 an hour.
Where do you work at?
BJ's.
What do you do?
I give BJ's. I'm a prostitute. Excited man to me. I actually enjoyed that version of you more.
Who would be
fucking
my dream guest? Actually, who would be your dream guest?
Rick Glassman. But you know
Dude,
what?
You know what?
He would be.
No. I'm with you.
Yeah. He'd be awesome.
I'm saying.
I think we'd.
Same.
I think we'd figure him out, you know? No one has ever tried to figure him out. I think they go, oh, he's weird.
Okay, so
Let me start.
You glazed Rick Glassman the last time we had a big conversation about him, and you started getting into the whole idea of like, what was funny was the conversation we had about Rick Glassman. The thing that I commented about him was the thing you loved about him. After we had that conversation, because I am a fan and I do watch, I started noticing that the thing that I was commenting about, I actually love about him. And I'm like,
He has that effect.
oh.
Did you see what he's... Do you follow him on Instagram or no? Nah, there's no way you do. You don't follow
I don't think I do.
men on Instagram. He keeps posting people being like, which is kind of crazy that he's doing this, but he's posting people being like, man, I hated Rick before, but he's starting to grow on me. Oh, man, fuck Rick. He's always doing these weird freaking tangents, but wait, I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to see it. Right after you said you're starting to see it. I think Rick's on his come up. I think people are starting, because yes, he's a little annoying, but he's also really smart.
Okay, so my boss, I had a one-on-one with my boss not too long ago, and he was giving me this. He was telling me we were talking about like it's a deal where you talk with your boss and like what you do and what you do good and whatever. And he goes, yeah. So the first time, he's like, he had talked to somebody and they were telling him, you know what it is about Anthony? It's that you never know. You have to figure out when he's being serious or when it's a bit.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And that's it, and you don't know when that is. My comment back to that was, if you know me, you know when it's a bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you know me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know me, then the fact that you don't know when it's a bit or not a bit, that means that I'm doing a bit on you.
Yeah.
For the purpose that I know that you don't know it's a bit.
Yeah. I mean, you still get us. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, and then the more I watch of Rick Glassman, when you watch him and you, to me anyway, I feel like I relate to him because like I'm watching him and I'm like, holy shit, I can see when when he's serious,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's a bit.
Me too.
There's the obvious.
Yeah.
There's the obvious
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah.
But then there's those times where people are like, wait, is this a bit?
Yeah.
I don't have that. Where like I know exactly when it's a bit and when it's not a bit.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that. He knows when he's like, okay, the people who get me know when it's a bit and not a bit. But the people who don't get me, the point of my personality
Mm-hmm.
is that when you don't know if it's a bit, you're my victim.
Yes.
You're the one. You're my audience.
Victim. You're my fifth one. Rape a pregnant bitch and tell my friends I had a threesome.
All right, it's devolving.
Wait, what's that mean? Devolving? Going down?
The podcast is devolving.
Oh, did we start again?
A long time ago.
Oh shit!
No,
I was itching my balls,
I'm
eating bad. And
Yeah,
all
I'm leaving all the nuggets. That's all
Dude,
part of it.
I mean, honestly, keep it.
So let's go back. Let's get back on Rick Glassman. Rick Glassman. Holy fuck! We're gonna tag you in this.
I can't believe
Please watch this episode.
you're fake though, Rick. He's a fake fan.
No, this isn't fake. I am truly a fan, and if I'm way off base, then Jesus Christ, if you commented on this, I would be
That'd be
I'd
sick.
be over the moon about it. But am I wrong? Am I wrong
That's
in
something
saying?
you would do.
Am I wrong in saying, because I feel like I relate to you in that way, where I'm like, I constantly go in and out of, and it could be mid conversation where I'm like I'm serious, but then I see a bit, and then like I go into a bit with the person, and it's not even like. Most of my life is not lived on camera. Like, I don't do most of my life. Most of the stuff that I do is with just coworkers and like friends and family, and I'll go into a bit, but they won't know that. And as soon as I see that they don't know that, that's where I dive more into the bit, where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good because I'm getting a reaction.
You're getting off to it a little bit.
I'm like having fun with this.
Every big humor dude does that.
And actually, you know what? I will even say this: when I see that they get that it's a bit, I'm kind of like,
yeah, it's not as fun. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Like, all right.
That's definitely Rick.
Yeah.
That's literally when Rick starts changing the subject into something else.
Like,
yeah.
all right, this is they get that this is a bit. This is a joke.
We like trolling. You're a bullshit. You're
that
a
is
farter.
forever your mic.
Good.
Can we? I got a label maker.
Good. I like claiming things.
I'm gonna put something.
Dude, we could say the same thing about you. The way you guys live is so funny that you guys think that's true, that there is no God of any kind.
No. Okay, so
I'm saying, why are you judging other people?
No. Okay, let me clarify. And I may cut this out because I may offend a lot of people.
Keep the fart in.
I will keep the fart in.
That's more important.
I'm totally gonna offend a lot of people because
what's new?
But
Scooby Doo.
Here's the deal. If there is a God, by definition, by any religion's definition of a God, there is zero ability of a human to understand that God. By that definition, nobody knows. So anybody who claims to know is coming from a place of ignorance, but they're posturing as if they know. And so that bothers me. So any religion that comes to me and says, or anybody who believes in a religion that comes to me and goes, "Oh no, this is the religion and it's correct, and this is the way you should live and think and whatever, and this is our existence and whatever." Well, but even by your own definition of God, that he's omnibenevolent and omnipotent and all the fucking words that mean outside of our understanding, how the fuck can you claim to understand it? That doesn't make any sense. It in itself is a contradiction. So it's like to be anybody who believes like if you're a Jewish person that believes in the Torah, if you're a Christian or a Catholic or a Mormon that believe in the New Testament, and maybe if you're a Mormon, you believe in Joseph Smith and all those writings, and if you're a fucking Muslim and you believe in the Quran, all those things that you're reading, those are all human created things that claim to know what they say is God, what he wants, and what or she or what that thing wants and how you should behave. That doesn't make any sense to me that you're saying, well, we can't claim to know what that thing wants or knows or how it wants us to be, but we're going to tell you that we do know. So in the same breath, they say, we can't understand it, but yet we do understand it, and this is how you're supposed to be. That doesn't make any sense to me.
This is coming from the person who thinks shrooms make you smarter. I'll never forget when you told me that. You said shrooms make you smarter, and then you dived into why the different types of things that'll open up in my brain. Why does it have to make sense? Why is that your big thing? Why do you always want facts and evidence and stuff like that? I always wondered that about you. Why are you such like a? Why can't you just? Did you believe in Santa Claus growing up?
Yes.
Nah, you seem like that guy that's like, Santa's not real.
Nope. I believe in Santa Claus 100% and way longer than I should have.
Same.
I was 11 when I went, this doesn't add up.
Yeah, that's
11. 11. That's late.
That's not 10. That's pretty bad. Holy shit. I knew at like 7. 7-11. I am curious. Tell your finding out Santa wasn't a real story.
So I was 11 years old, and I remember, actually, I might have been 10.
Dang it.
It was around that time. But I remember thinking, like,
10, 11.
this doesn't make any sense. And I remember
That's the worst feeling as a kid.
figuring it out and then telling my mom. And I remember very vividly sitting in my mom's lap as a little kid
Yeah.
and being in tears and telling my mom, Santa's not real, right?
Tears, crying?
Yeah. And she was
Aw.
like,
Santa's not real, right? Let's lay it
Yeah.
on me, Mom.
and that was it. And it was like, I had this long drawn out epiphany that culminated in the conversation with somebody I trusted, where I was like, Santa's not real, right? And she was like, yeah, you got us. And then 20 years later, coming to the same realization where I went, wait a minute. So they lied to me about Santa. What about Jesus? And then they're like, no. That one's real. They're like,
This makes
no.
us look bad.
Okay, so we raised you to
No,
believe
that one's real.
we raised you to believe that there was this person that was traveling the globe and delivering presents to all the kids in one night across the globe, and it was all magical and everything, and you believed it. But the whole thing was, if you weren't good, like, you have to be good to get the presents. Problem was, I was never good, and I still got presents.
Yeah, you're like, so I can be
It's
shitty
like,
and
what
go
the
to
fuck?
heaven.
This is weird. Keep telling me, that I have to be good.
They
and-
loved you.
Am I good? And I ended up getting presents anyway. And then
I got a lump of coal one time.
and then to come to find out, oh, that was all bullshit. Okay, 'cause that's bullshit. Okay, but then there's this other thing that's elevated. It's God. That's the thing that this person is watching over you, and if you're good, you're gonna live forever in heaven, and if you're not good, you're going to hell. So it's like, it was like this smaller thing that was like easily digestible as a toddler, as a kid, as a young kid, was like, oh, you're gonna get toys or you're not gonna get toys. But I always got toys, so that didn't make sense. Then it was like, okay, well, now you're older and you're a little more informed and you understand that that's bullshit, so we can no longer play this game. Okay, so yeah, just so you know, by the way, we lied to you about that. But we're not lying to you about the other thing.
Parents
That's
are so
that's a
cute.
little bit elevated. That's it's similar concept, but it's a little bit elevated. It's God and it's Jesus, and it's the whole thing where, like, yeah, if you're not good, you have eternal damnation, and if you're good, you're gonna go to heaven. You're gonna live forever, because who wants to die and go to hell? Nobody wants to go to hell. Nobody wants to die, but we all wanted to think that we're gonna live forever. Okay, if you do this thing, if you follow these rules,
Marlon Wayans.
you're gonna live forever and be, happy and everything. Yeah. So that one is still real. The other one that we told you that was easier to lie about, that one is, you're right, you got us, we're good. Yeah, but the other one, that's the same concept, it's just a little bit more. This is the one that we're going to be able to keep you throughout your adulthood. And then we're going to actually even teach you to teach your kids this whole thing, and we're all gonna just be.
Did you teach your kids about?
Yeah,
Nice.
took my kids to church, and
Wow.
my kids were raised in the church.
Wow. That's awesome. Was it more to like honor your mom and Nana?
No, it's what I thought was right. It's what I thought was
Wow.
real.
And then you did research and you cooked yourself.
Well, it wasn't that I did research. It was that the things that I was told not to question, I simply questioned.
When you stopped being a Christian, did you kind of treat it like have you seen Paul, the movie where she finds out God's not real? And
Yeah.
said, "Cut little titty fucker, I'm gonna fucking fuck everyone." Is that how you felt?
Mm-mm.
Freedom? You didn't like purposely start fucking shit up? Like there's no rules?
Nope.
Yeah.
Life didn't change.
Wow.
Life didn't change at all. Because
I wonder if that's in our favor.
the thing that was the lie just became obvious that it was a lie, but it didn't change who I was.
Yeah.
Like I didn't just all of a sudden go, oh, there's nobody on this planet that discovers that there is no God and that this whole thing is like a lie and goes, all right, well, I'm just going to be a different person. They still just do the things that they want to do. They just do it with less guilt.
Yeah. That's true. I told my Christian friend about you. He was like, sounds like your uncle got caught by the demon. And there's no going back for him.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that's true. I got caught by the demon.
don't make it sound silly. You got caught by the demon, boy.
Yeah,
Nah.
caught by the demon.
One day I'm going to do what you did and do severe amount of research, and then I'm going to do what Uncle Randy couldn't. Haha, shots fired, baby. I'm going to debate you, and I'm going to.
I gotta pee again.
Go ahead.
God damn it. Oh, I just. Okay, let's go.
I wanted to do one last banger topic at least.
Well, this is a banger topic. You are on your journey of becoming a Christian.
Yeah, I am.
So talk about that.
There's things that I think are bullshit, obviously. That's why I laugh at some things you say. People
Okay,
laugh when there's truth.
Talk about it.
I don't like that I can't have sex with girls. I don't like that I can't cuss. I don't like that I can't have sex before
Why
marriage.
can't you have sex with girls?
It's just not how God wants us to be.
But
God
why
wants
do
sex to be for your wife and your wife only. God wants it's your.
Why do you think that God thinks that?
It's pure. I think is what my friend said. It's like the pure way to do it. Forgot what else he said. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so where does he get that from?
The Bible is what he said.
Okay, so have you read the Bible?
No, we do Bible study, but we're still in the beginning.
So have you studied the Bible?
No, I only read it when we read it together.
So is it any cause for concern that somebody's telling you how to live based on an interpretation that they have of a book
Yes.
that was written thousands of years ago?
100%. Christianity. What are the other ones? Catholic, Muslim. Is Muslim one?
Okay, so
They're all silly.
let me just
They're all culty and silly. I get it.
let me give a really super generic thing, right? So there's Christian, which is follower of Christ, right? Christian is a follower of Christ. So really, you can go Christian is all the fucking things, right? Catholic, Mormon, Christian, Baptist, Pentecostal, all these other. Anybody who's like, oh, I follow Christ, that's a Christian. Why is it that Christian has so many different religions? It's the same thing. They're all basing it on the same book, but they all have different interpretations on what it means.
I didn't even know that. They're all based off of the exact same Bible?
Yes.
Even
You know
Wow.
Jews?
yeah, that's it. I
Yeah.
thought Jews hate God.
So Jewish people follow the Old Testament. So when you pick up your Bible, in that same book, there's the Old Testament and there's the New Testament. The Jewish people follow what's called the Torah, which is the Old Testament. That's the first X amount of books. But then once you get into the New Testament, that's Christian, because that's Christ.
Let me do something real quick. Do Jewish people follow the Old Testament? That made you look awesome. Um, does every religion follow the same Bible?
No.
When she can't answer right away, it gets dicey. Siri said that one's a little
So
dicey.
it's not every religion. So Islam, they go by the Quran.
Well, there you go. Then why'd you say
it's a
every?
different book. So the Quran
is Quran Bible?
So the word Bible, it really just means a collection of books. It's like a
Wow.
library, right? But the Bible, which is canonized currently, is a collection of books that was decided by a group of people that said these are the books that belong in this one book. There's more books that didn't make it in that book.
Oh my God.
But they go, oh, wait, that book that was written, we don't think that one goes. So we don't include it. And then there's books that they go, okay, this one goes with our story. So we put it in. But the Quran, that's a different deal. The Book of Mormon, that's a book that's in addition to. So the Book of Mormon is the Joseph Smith deal. This is all stuff you should definitely do like a deep dive on. But the Mormons believe in the Old Testament. They believe in the New Testament. But they also believe in the Book of Mormon, which is another book that's supposed to be added to the culmination of the books. The Quran is a completely different book that is 600 years outside of the New Testament, which means 600 years later, this book was written, and that's Islam. They don't believe in the Old Testament. They don't believe in the New Testament. However, in the Quran, they do talk about Jesus. They don't believe him to
as a cameo.
Well, they don't believe him to be God. They don't believe him to be the Messiah. They believe him to be a prophet. They believe him to be a very important figure in religion and
But they don't think he's the GOAT. They don't think he's the
Messiah.
the creator of all.
So, Christ, the word Christ, the name, the title Christ.
When Christ was born.
So they say Jesus Christ, right? His last name isn't Christ. Christ just means the anointed one, which essentially is the Messiah.
Oh, okay. I thought Christ just meant Lord and Savior.
No.
Way off?
Well, not way off. It just
Okay.
means...
Yeah, because that's what Nana always preaches.
Yeah, Christ is like... it's like a title, right? So, Jesus Cristo. But Jesus... And his name isn't even Jesus. It's essentially more accurately pronounced Yeshua is the name from the ancient text, right? So from the ancient Hebrew, or they were speaking Aramaic, but his name was more his name was more closer to the current name Joshua. Wow. Not Jesus or Jesus.
Where'd Jesus come from?
Jesus?
Yeah.
So it's like it's an evolution of the interpretation of Yeshua. Yeshua was his name. That's the closest way you can pronounce the name of the ancient text, Yeshua. And I might even be murdering that, but that's the way it was pronounced. But over the years, when they were reinterpreting the Bible in different languages and whatnot, so the best explanation they have currently is that the transformation between Hebrew, Greek, Latin, there was a certain point in time where it was Yeshua was Jesus, and Jesus, because of the way that it sounded a little feminine, it doesn't even, it's not even, it started with an I and it ended with a U, Yeshua, and it ended with an A. And they were like, no, that's more feminine. We need more masculine. So they added the S. So then into the Latin, where it ended up being Jesus. And then into the Spanish language that we currently know, Jesus. And then you get Jesus, which is Jesus with a J.
Jesus.
Then in English, you see the word Jesus, pronounced Jesus. So the whole thing is that they all pronounce it Jesus.
Wait, I'm stoked that I know that now.
So English people pronounce it, or people right now, go to church, you're Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then they talk about, don't take the Lord's name in vain. Well, that's not even the name of the Lord.
You would.
When he
the
was
stubborn kid.
When he was in existence, when he was walking this earth, nobody.
I'm not taking the Lord's name.
Nobody
in vain.
who knew him, nobody who walked with him, nobody who talked to him, including himself, said the word, the noise, the everything that it takes to make a sound. Nobody uttered the phrase.
That's the one thing I'm
Jesus.
definitely gonna always give you is it's just like what you said earlier. Is a lot of people are just not doing research and getting debatey and weird about
So when
it.
people are like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, don't take the Lord's name in vain. Well, that's not the Lord's name. So
Yeah.
why are you taking such a stance on that?
Yeah, no. A lot of people I don't even think know who wrote the Bible. I think they just read it. I don't think anyone.
Do you know who wrote the Bible?
No, I don't think any. I don't think a lot of Christians are actually.
Who do you think wrote the Bible?
How is it still around? It was written hundreds of years ago, right? No, we can't put this in. This looks like
Thousands.
Christian finding out God's not real live on camera.
Thousands.
That's not what's going on here. It's just, man, some of our stuff is just, it's obviously silly, but no, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
We're not doing what?
Last time we talked about this, you guys made me feel stupid, and I don't want to freaking look dumb again on camera.
Why would you look stupid?
Because I was like, I've talked to God, and you and Josh
Have
were
you
like,
talked to God?
I haven't seen him speak or move. I know that's what you're getting at. I just have felt him on my shoulder.
Did you just assume what I was getting at?
You're doing that thing where Christianity doesn't matter as much to you as it does to me, so you're able to troll. You're that's rage bait.
What the fuck?
You're
assuming a lot right now. And I think it's a defensive position. Nothing I have said has been accusatory.
100%. It's a defensive position.
Everything has been inquisitive.
But you're on an offensive position.
No, I'm inquisitive. What do you got going on?
It would be inquisitive if
What
you were
do
actually
you know?
trying to find.
What don't you know?
I feel like
Can I fill in some
your
gaps?
goal here is to wreck Christianity, isn't it?
My goal here is to inform you
I don't
of
think that
things
theory's
that
far
you
off.
don't know.
Okay.
So are
If
you being
mean that? If that's authentic and you mean that, then
are
I
you
appreciate
being
that.
are you being misled and uninformed? And so is there something that I can fill in the gaps for? Because you don't even have to take my
No,
word for
I
things.
appreciate you doing that. Can you tell me who wrote the Bible so I can compare it with my friend Malachi?
Humans. Man.
But do you see how you're saying it with sass?
People.
You're saying it with like, this is dumb attitude.
Okay, so this is where the conversation becomes very intricate, and you have to understand that the Old Testament has been given authors that have been attributed to it that don't necessarily are been proven to not be. So, for example, there's certain books of the Old Testament that have been attributed to be written by Moses, but it describes his death.
I know Moses. I know that guy. I know
For
that
sure,
character.
we know, because we're common sense people, we know that the person who wrote the book about a death was not the person who died.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
So we know.
I've thought that since I was little.
So there's for sure books of the Old Testament that they say are written by certain people that we know for sure are not. We don't know who actually wrote them. But then we get to the New Testament, that's where it becomes interesting, because there's certain books that we can say with certain level of confidence they are for sure written by this person. There's some that we can say with the utmost 100% certainty that we don't know who wrote it, but yet they attribute. So like the biggest ones, right, are they call them the Gospels, which essentially just means the good word, the truth, whatever. But it's the first 4 to 5 books, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts. That's what they call the gospel. But the main ones are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yeah, I've heard.
Those are the first ones,
heard of
right?
them.
So when they say those, they say they're written by those. But if you open those books up, you'll see that the title of those books are the gospel according to whoever, right? So it says gospel according to Mark, gospel according to Matthew, gospel according to John. Read those books. Those books never, ever, ever say, I'm John and I'm writing this. They're all written in third person. They never give a name, ever.
Wow.
So humans, man, went, you know what? I'm going to say this was written by John. And they give it a name. But there's no author. Because they're books that are written about stories that were told over decades. So like Jesus was born, right? Nothing's written about him for a long time. And then he comes out of the woodwork, starts making a fucking noise, and then he fucking gets crucified, right? And so the story of Jesus and his acts, the things that he did right before he gets crucified, and then his resurrection, and then his, coming back to earth and whatever, those are stories that we know for sure that Jesus was crucified. And we know that it happened around 33 AD. The first gospel that was written wasn't written until the 50s, which means multiple decades had passed before the first person wrote the story down. And that was Mark. So the book of Mark, which isn't the first book in the Gospels is Matthew. But Mark was actually the first one to actually write it down. But they say Mark, but we actually don't know who the author is. It was just some unknown person. To this day. Unknown. So Jesus dies. That happens. Decades pass. And during that time, what was happening was there was what's called tradition. So people are just going around and telling stories. They're going, hey, this happened. Jesus died, and then he rose from the dead. And they're telling these stories, and it's going on for decades, right? Well, then somebody goes, I'm going to write this down. And they go to write it down. What was happening during the time of Jesus was happening. Jesus' experiences and the things that he was doing, what he was doing was happening in the language called Aramaic. The first person to write anything down about what had happened was writing it down in Greek. A Greek-speaking person. Which means you can think about it like this. If me and you had something going on right now and something happened,
I can't wait to freaking.
and then you died, right? So you died. Think about 20 years from now. Somebody who speaks a completely different language is writing a story down about what he heard about your events.
There's got to be a good counter, though. Like,
there's not.
There probably is. It's just I'm not educated on it yet. I gotta wait. I gotta gather.
Trust me when I tell you, all the counter arguments are this.
Okay, yeah, lay it on me.
God is mysterious, and he works in mysterious ways.
That's exactly what I say.
Because everything I'm telling you is all fact. You can choose, because when I tell you that the Gospel of Mark was written by somebody who didn't even speak the language that Jesus spoke when he was doing it, and he wrote it.
But
20 years later.
From Malachi said, this is exactly how they get you.
When I say that,
this is the devil trying to take me to the
But
other
when
side.
I say that, that doesn't mean that what he was saying was false. What I'm telling you is fact, but you can choose to use it to go, well, then that just means this is bullshit. Or you can say, well, all right, well, something else is in there, and I could still believe what I believe.
Yeah. I like
but
that.
This is also true.
That we can agree on that. That's a good conclusion.
So
on
the fact is, but here's the thing that turned me, and here's the thing that fucked with me. is if you ever bring that up to a Christian or in church or in Bible study or anything like that, they poo-poo on you.
Well, because they don't want people coming in their church. They don't want people being like, God's not real in their church.
So what I
That's
said,
obviously a turn
what
on.
I said just now about the authorship of the New Testament did not say anything about God being real or God being
But
this or God being that.
Your intention is totally questioning it.
So why would you?
No, you're right. You're allowed to ask questions.
So why would you follow somebody who is intentionally either omitting information
Yeah.
or manipulating information just so that you live your life
Yeah, I get you.
the way they see fit? How about this? Tell me all the information and allow me to decide. If Jesus is Jesus, then he should stand up to scrutiny. Then he should stand up
How have I
to
never heard
criticism. He should stand up to skepticism. I should be able to scrutinize what's going on and have it be answered in a way that is fulfilling.
I wish
as
my
a
Christian friend was awake. He'd debate you right now.
as opposed to me saying, who wrote the book of Mark?
Yeah.
And then the religious person going, Mark did. And I go, okay, show me, how do you know Mark wrote that? And who is Mark? He has nothing.
No. Yeah.
He has nothing because you read the text. All we have is the text. That's all we have. We don't have photographs. We don't have video. We don't have TikTok. We don't have Instagram. We can't research it on ChatGPT. All we have is the actual text.
Yeah.
You read the text, and nowhere in the text does anywhere in there any line say, my name is Mark, and I'm telling this story because my name is Mark. No. And I saw this, and I seen it. What it does say is, this is a story that I'm telling that I heard.
Yeah.
And it's written decades after the events. Those people did not walk with Jesus. These are not eyewitness accounts. These are not people who are saying, I saw this. These are people literally writing down a story in a different language saying, I heard this story, and this is what I heard. That's what they're saying. In all of the Gospels, in all of the statements, there is no...
I heard that.
There is zero eyewitness accounts.
The
only thing that they can say is that the New Testament consists of 26 or 27 books. I think it's like 26. There's 26 books in the New Testament. In the New Testament, right? The first 5 is Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts. Those are the Gospels, canonical, whatever. But then the remainder of them, they're all letters, and they're written by this guy Paul Damascus, right? It's this guy Paul he was a Jew hunter, or he was a guy that was like trying to. He was a Jewish guy that was like hunting Christians, like persecuting Christians for being Christians, and he gets converted, and then he gets converted to Christianity, and then he's like blah, blah, and then he writes these letters to like these different cities and tells them, and this is actually even closer to the time of Jesus, but he's writing these letters to these cities telling them this is how you're supposed to behave as a Christian. So then like all these books in the New Testament are just letters from this one guy writing letters to cities to tell them how to behave as Christians. Those are those books, Romans and I'm probably going to murder this, but it's like Chronicles and Ephesians or Thessalonians or whatever, Timothy. There's all these letters, and I'm probably naming those wrongs, but they anybody who's listening that knows this scholarship, they know that what I'm saying is right. Is that Paul wrote all these? They're called epistles, but they're letters that he wrote to these churches to say, "This is how you're supposed to behave," and then he describes having a vision of Christ after Christ died. But he describes it in a way that's really fishy. Like he describes it and he says it's a vision. Like he had a vision. Not like he met him. Not like he hung out with the dead, like a dead dude that came back to life. There's so much about it that's like super fishy. Well, not only that, but even if you just have to, anybody who ever asks me why I question the Bible and the validity of it and the truthfulness of it, I point them to the Bible and I say, read it. Read it and like really read it.
I like that.
Because if you do,
I actually have to read it.
there's no way you come to any other conclusion than what I did. Because what you do is you go to church, right? And then you go to church. Let's say you go to church. And the guy up there, what he wants you to do is come closer to God. So everything he's going to tell you. And all right, today we're studying John chapter da-da-da. And then he tells you what it is that we're studying and why. And he points you in the direction of how to think and what to use it for. Okay, but read the book of John. You'll know if you read all the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mark came first. Whoever it was that wrote Matthew and Luke had access to Mark, so they just copied it word for word, verbatim on some of the points. John was on his own tangent. It completely took his own like artistic freedom and came up with the most outlandish shit. So if you read it in a sequence, if you read those books, you read Mark and then you read Mark, Matthew, then Luke, then John, you'll see that the historical shit is not in question. It's the stuff that is not, it's the stuff that's supernatural, right? So anything that's like outside of the ability, like anything that we're like, oh God, the resurrection, right? If a person's dead, they're dead. There's no account, there's no possibility of a dead person coming back to life. There's just no record of it, ever. But in these books, there are. But it's like, there's no proof of it. There's no proof of it. And then they keep getting more fantastical as you go along, as you read the book. So it's almost as if this book came out, and it's like, that's not enough information to convince me. So then the next book, there's a little bit more. Like, oh, well, more people saw him. And then the next book, oh, well, then Peter questioned him and was like, well, but are you really him? And then John comes out with like even more, and he's writing in this like completely different style. So like the first three books are all kind of written in the same style, and then like John's written in a completely different fashion, to where you can tell that
different directors.
Well, that author, the author of John, whoever it was, wasn't actually in connection with the other three authors, because he used different words, he used different phrases, he used different thematic, writings. So you can see it get more fantastical as the stories go on. But people don't want to dissect the literal shit, right? Like, we can give literary criticism to these things as if we were just reading people's memoirs and go, okay, we can criticize that. They don't want to do that because they just want to go, well, this is the religion, this is the God, this is the thing. You have to agree with it. Fuck you if you don't, essentially. But you go, okay, well, but if you read it,
that's Christian.
if you read it, you can go, oh, this doesn't line up. And there's all kinds of, throughout the whole thing, there's massive contradictions. They claim things that are absolutely false, but that we wouldn't have known then. 2,000 years ago, there was no telescope. There was no microscope. There was no ability to understand things that we understand now, that we have been able to prove false. So then we read these books and we go, okay, we understand that there's no way that could have happened. But at that point, when they wrote that, there was no way to prove that couldn't happen. So they wrote it. So, but how the fuck does it still stand up? That's the question, right? How does it still stand up today?
So we have a really big fan base.
But I'm saying
Lots of churches.
That's the why does it stand up today? Why do you think it? Why do you think any religion stands up today?
Well, me and you talked about it on FaceTime, but I don't want to take down Christians. I see what you mean. It's like a coping thing. You told me on FaceTime that it's like people can't handle the death, so they found something to cope with, like to make them feel better.
Yeah.
But really, the reality in your eyes is it's just black after death, and we die. So just live.
No. So, my opinion, what I think happens when we die, is what I think. I don't know what happens when we die. Nobody does. And so my fucking thing that I stand by, that I would always tell anybody who's watching and anybody who's talking to me about this specific topic, I would say this. I don't know what happens when we die. Also, no person, living or dead,
knows.
also knows. Nobody knows. And anybody who claims that they do know
when they're like, oh,
is lying to you. And it doesn't mean so. Okay, so then let's get into the so it's lie, right? So the word lie, like if I'm lying to you, the definition of that word means that I know the truth and I'm telling you the opposite of it, and I know that. That's a lie. But the fact that I'm telling you something that's not true, but I believe it to be true, it doesn't fall into lie, but it is not true. So anybody who tells you they know what happens after death, maybe they're not lying to you. But what they're telling you is not true.
Yeah.
And it's unsubstantiated. They have no proof of it. They have no way of telling you one way or the other why it is or why it isn't. Nobody knows what happens when we die. Nobody.
Yeah.
But when we die, we do die, and it's done.
No, I hear you on everything. I just accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior and into my heart, and I'm not ready to let that go, and I want it to stay that way for now.
You can.
Hopefully forever. I am growing up and like wanting to know, but that's why I'm even talking to you about it. And why we FaceTime that night is I'm curious. I'm a curious person now. And you say some things where I'm like, what the kind of want to ask my freaking, like I want to ask Ocean and Malachi, who are educated, even though I don't know. God, if you're watching, I laughed because what he said was crazy, not because it was funny.
You can ask.
I'm supposed to be.
You can ask very.
Right now, and I'm not educated
you can ask very basic questions to a Christian who is a firm believer, and you can ask very basic questions, and they have no answer. To me, what that says is, oh, okay, so me and you are fundamentally at the same place. Neither one of us know. But yet, the Christian, you as a Christian, are taking a stance on something that neither one of us know. We don't know. You
That's
don't
the
know.
beauty of it. That's the whole point.
I don't know. You don't know. But you're taking
to
a
give
stance.
all your faith to Him, to God. That's why you're supposed to. If it was a for sure guarantee to get to heaven, I also think that's the point of believing in God. If God was for sure real, then everyone would believe in Him. If God was for sure, we could all see Him, talk to Him, everyone would believe in Him. It's part of the magic that we don't know, I think.
It's one of the reasons why I don't believe in Him. The divine hiddenness.
I have to poop.
Oh, you want to poop here?
3 hours.
I got 2 podcasts. One that ends religiously. Oh, wait.
I don't think.
Are we ending it?
I mean, I gotta poop. I think so. Dude, you gotta clean that.
All right, we're ending it.
Down and Anthony podcast episode? I don't even know. You're gonna wake up and be like, I'm not putting the religious stuff in.
All the religious stuff is staying in. Thank you for watching. If you believe in God, please give a like, subscribe, follow. Everything he's doing in that camera, we're not going to show.